I'm the orc who walks the forest is green, with my heart and my soul so serene. I love my friends of every kind. In this world, unity we will find. I shake hands with elves and humans too. Break bread with dwarfs in the mountain dew. Prejudice I leave behind. In my world, love is not blind. We are one in this melody, a chorus song in perfect harmony. No wars, no fear to find us here. The orcs love for all so near. I hear the whispers in the night, beneath the stars so clear and bright. Together we'll stand side by side. From love and peace we'll never hide. In the rivers and the
Why, that's right. This is how reviews will kill you. The Party Time podcast that brings you news, reviews, and all that other good stuff. I am the man they may know as Z, and I am here. I am here and powerful. I have no one to burden me. I am unburdened by who could be burdening me. That's right. I am here alone, and I am here to help you, help me, help us get through a nice, long weekend. So I hope you guys are ready to rock and roll, because I'm on the wheels of steel. And I will be controlling today's podcast, as I usually do, as we go through all sorts of fun stuff. I am going to get myself well lubricated. I hope you do too. And let's see how things rock and roll today. That's right. Doc is here, and Doc is logging off. Got my 0.0001 cents back to... If you go back to Battlefield 6 and don't hang out with me, you better beware. You're putting a pox upon your teams. So anyway, salute to you, to all. Woo! Ah. All right, that's some Jägermeister. That is stuff and things. Besides, Battlefield 6 sucks. Why do that when you can come hang here and party with me? That's right. We have an amazing show for you. There's all sorts of great things we can go over. We're going to talk a little bit about Theo Von getting dissed by some chick. We've got married Lisa. Maybe Noob married Lisa. Who knows? Mark Sanchez mystery. Rush is back on tour. And, of course, I quoted my own joking notes in there. Those notes are for me, not for you. Anyway, the Smashing Machine bombs spectacularly. Hulu's officially over. James Bond Photoshop controversy. Selena Gomez dissing all her friends. Monster, the show I'm watching right now, the Ed Gein story is going to be Monster, the Lizzie Borden story. And then M&M's have a new flavor. Maybe Noob will eat those. We're going to get outrageous because Tyrese Gibson, I feel like that's not his name, turns himself in. Isn't it Tyrese something other? I don't know. We'll find out together. It is Tyrese Gibson. I don't even know who that is. I know he's in the Fast and Furious. He is not going to be invited to our movie, Nosferatu. Disneyland visitor dies in the Haunted Mansion. What a perfect way to go. And then we're going to talk a tiny bit about Morning Glory Milking Farm. I wanted Noob to participate in that, but we can get to it at some point. Are you in or out of A Night of the Seven Kingdoms? That's coming out. Then we've got reviews of The Naked Gun, Terminal List, Dark Wolf, and Karate Kid Legends. I just wanted to kick that off a little bit since Karate Kid Legends is now streaming for you to enjoy. I think it's on Netflix. I don't recall, but we can do those things and more, brought to you by OrcU, the orkiest university you've ever been to. The only one where your degree is worth more than your standard liberal arts degree from Yale. How's about that? People? So anyway, let's get this party started. Why am I shouldn't be sharing the screen with anyone. It should be me and me alone. HBO and Netflix. Thank you, Doc. So you could catch Karate Kid Legends, which I'll get into a little bit. I know Noob reviewed it, but Noob sucks at reviewing, so I'm going to do an actual review because I know that's what you guys come here for. So that and the infinite sadness from Noob. Yet Doc making a big deal about there being no Noob, and when there's no Noob, he does not rejoice. He should rejoice. But let's get moved on. Let's get it on. Let's go to the news. Yes. We're going to talk a little bit about Theo Von. For those of you who are unfamiliar, he is a comedian with a pretty popular podcast. And I don't know what the name of that podcast is, but it's got something to do with Theo Von, asking random people things. He's a comedian and podcast host who has interviewed such celebrities as Ed Sheeran, Pete Davidson, and Donald Trump. So then he went viral for an interview on Game Day. If you remember last week, he bombed out at a show. He was taping his Netflix special, which he bombed out on, and got absolutely destroyed online. For, people saying it, and then he said some crazy things, and now he's going on ESPN and causing himself more heartache. It's pretty bold to talk to a sideline reporter, ESPN reporter Jess Sims. She was ending a segment with Theo, who was the guest picker. I guess he was picking college game days or something. And then you guys are ready for your second. Go ahead, right up there. I'm gonna play the audio too. Theo's like, "Oh, am I going already?" Because he's getting booted off the stage, I guess. She goes, "Will I ever see you again?" She goes, "Oh, I hope not." Shooing him off the stage, and Theo replied, "Aw." That's pretty funny. Let's see if we can play it here. He's shooting a shot. Let's just take a listen and hear what desperation sounds like. I'm curious. I hope you are. Oh, come on. It's going on over to X. Okay.
Former head coach Derek Mason's house. You live in his house.
I live in former coach Derek Mason's old house. That's true.
Did he leave anything in there?
Give him a break. I think he went 0-16. Cut him some slack. I'm not joking. Bless him. Bless you, Derek. Yeah, he did. He left some trophies in there. I got to get back to him. And a plunger, too, actually.
Well, we'll talk about that later. Well, the guys are ready for your second round of picks, so go ahead, right up there.
Oh, I'm already gone?
You're already going. See you later.
Will I see you again?
No, I hope not.
Oh, that's so sad. Wow, I hope not. That is not the answer you're looking for from anybody. So Theo Von is striking out on all. That's wild. I mean, on live TV, you probably should not be hitting on girls. Just gonna say that's a bad idea. Bad idea, okay. So there you go, Theo Von. We got a lot to get through, so I don't want to spend too much time with Theo Von. So let's get to what Noob I think he just did this weekend, or the previous weekend, or one of these weekends. He met a lady. Fed up 42-year-old splashes cash for Marry Me billboards in last-ditch effort to find a mate. I want to fall in love. That's what she said. This Bay Area, first of all, that's your first problem, is you live in the Bay Area. Spending cold hard cash to rent a dozen digital billboards along California's famed Highway 101, advertising her hand in marriage to any commuter that's ready for commitment. Putting myself out there. She's a vintage clothes retailer in San Mateo, California. Oh my gosh. And she's like, people would be shocked if they knew how much this was costing me. Probably more than $10,000. If you see, she has this big giant sign. She seems like a nice lady. She shouldn't have to resort to noob and peddling herself on billboards. Now, if she were to get her orc degree from Our Reviews Will Kill You, and I would assume she would do much better. She would find much better men. She launched her ad on September 2nd, and she didn't disclose how much it is. That's fair. She doesn't have to be. This is not a joke. It's not a gimmick. This is serious, self-funded effort. I just want to find my husband. Sweetheart, you're 42. You probably should have started looking at like 22. You're 20 years too late. She also took out ads atop taxi cabs. That's pretty hilarious. She spanned 45 miles. I hope she meets somebody. That's pretty crazy. There's been so many cyberbullies. First of all, if the guy ain't, if you get a cyberbully and the guy ain't proposing to you, nobody cares. Did I submit my application? Obviously not, because I am homeless. What could I offer her other than other people's abodes and a place under the bridge down by the river? So, I mean, if she's ready to swing down by the river, we could talk. But until that time, we're still going. Doc, you a billionaire. Why don't you just buy her a husband? This single lady's not alone. Oh my gosh. This other chick said she's a corporate litigation attorney. She said she'd pay a $5,000 referral fee to anyone help her find the one. Oh my gosh. That's crazy, people. That is crazy. This poor lady. She's looking for a man between the age of 35 to 45, which rules out Noob Noob because he's 65. Who aligns with me on religious and political belief, as well as a health-oriented lifestyle. Wow. I'm going to guess at your political beliefs, and I'm going to guess that there ain't no men for you, sweetheart. It ain't just good. They are all, I mean, if they're healthy living, they eating soy. And if they're soy, they may be one step away from playing transgender, if you know what I'm saying. So, this chick, and about the cyberbullies, you just let them go. We've had mafiosos threaten to have us taken out, and they never did anything. We get threats all the time. People don't like what we have to say, and it's fine. They're not going to follow through on it. Plus, well, she kind of told everybody where she lives, so it's kind of easy to find her. But I would say finding homeless people is much more difficult, so maybe we get away with that. So we go from one marriage mystery to another mystery. This one I cannot explain, but I do have jokes. Security footage, the Mark Sanchez saga. This is tough. I don't know what to make of this. I would say this is Doc's favorite quarterback, Mark Sanchez, formerly of the Jets, also of the Eagles. He was a backup quarterback for the Eagles. I think he might have started a couple of games. This is wild, and it keeps escalating. And so what initially started, let's see if they could tell us exactly what happened here, because I am not 100% sure. I'm going to attempt to not show what happened to the other guy, right? But Sanchez, who was described by the alleged victim as smelling of alcohol and slurred speech, reportedly said he could only remember grabbing for a window during the incident when a detective took his statement. Apparently, there's footage, so people should just release the footage so we can see exactly what happened. The truck driver said he was reportedly doing his job, exchanging used cooking oil from Westin Hotel, when Sanchez approached him and opened the door to his truck. Apparently, Sanchez was doing wind sprints in an alleyway, by the way. Just pointing that out. Maybe he was mad that he couldn't do his wind sprints anymore because this dude blocked him with this truck. So Sanchez claimed he had spoken to the manager of the hotel and that PT could not be there. Sanchez then allegedly climbed into the truck, at which point a confused PT said he wasn't allowed to go in there. Sanchez got out and continued to claim the hotel manager said he could not replace the fryer oil, then tried to get in the truck again. I guess he was trying to move the truck. He allegedly blocked PT from obtaining his cell phone, I guess, which was still in the truck, leading the driver to go around in the front of the truck where Sanchez followed him. There, things got crazy and got a little escalated. Sanchez was blocking him. And then somehow it became violent. So he reached into his pocket, the alleged victim, and sprayed Sanchez in the face with pepper spray, right in the face. He said it appeared to have an effect on Mr. Sanchez for but a moment as he wiped his face and began storming towards PT, who is the alleged victim. PT thought, this guy's going to kill me, so he pulled his knife. Maybe I don't blame this guy when Mark Sanchez came at him and struck him 2 or 3 times with the knife, and then he found himself flying into a dumpster and falling back on a pallet on the ground. Sanchez allegedly kept punching and striking PT until the man got up and stabbed him one more time, and then Sanchez looked shocked and ran away into the alley. That's great. Apparently, there is pictures and footage of him walking around with like his bleeding out of his shirt. This is wild. Sanchez has been formally charged with 3 misdemeanors: battery resulting in injury, public intoxication, unlawful entry of a motor vehicle. I thought he potentially was charged with a felony, but I don't know about that. Now, my take on this is that he is mad because he was trying to butt fumble on him. And for those of you who don't know, that is what Mark Sanchez is most famous for. His notorious butt fumbling, which he did once for the Jets. And then he, mysteriously and amazingly, he did it one more time for the Eagles, where the center tried to hike him the ball, and he immediately ran forward and tried to stick the ball back where it came from and fumbled it. So, yes, he was mad that we would not refund him our finder's fee because we were trying to find him a wife, even though he's probably married. He's the guy, when he was a draft pick, I distinctly remember there were pictures of him in a hot tub with a bunch of girls, and he said he couldn't go to, like, training camp or something. Again, I think he was trying to butt fumble this guy, and it just went too far. And that's all she wrote. Will Mark Sanchez go to jail? Probably. His gig on whatever football program, he's like a football analyst. He's not going to go back on there for a little while. Let's just say that for now. People have been fired for less. So, moving on from the butt fumble to an actual... Is this a fumble? I don't know. It's interesting to me because I don't really care that much for this band, and people will probably yell at me about it. I do not care for Rush. No, sir, I do not. Because Rush is, I don't know, one of those weird bands that I just never got into. It's strange. They're like a weird band, and they have like a singer who sings real high, and I know that they have like the most talented drummer that ever lived with Neil Peart.
Hyundai
and I
Santa
get
Fe
all that type of
Subaru
stuff.
Outback. Look what Santa Fe has and what Outback
What do we got
doesn't.
here?
Hyundai Santa Fe wins every time.
What do I got? An ad. Of course I got an ad. Who needs those? Well, anyway, Rush is sitting there, and okay, so they got Neil Peart, and I know Neil Peart used to write lyrics for them. I don't know. I just don't like that many of their songs. They have like a couple of okay songs, but overall, I am not a Rush fan. My point of this, though, is without Neil Peart, are they still Rush? And I think about the ship of Theseus. So for those of you who are unaware about this is a thought experiment where the ship of Theseus was built of wood back in ancient Greek times But when it's been restored and pieces have been replaced. So imagine, if you will, if all of the wood on the ship of Theseus has been replaced, is it still the same ship? So is Rush still Rush without Neil Peart? And then they went on to say that they hired a new drummer, and I don't know, Anika Niles. I don't know. I don't know if she's good, bad, or indifferent. But they're going on tour. They're already going on tour. They're already out on tour. They were touring tonight in Germany. I'll be damned. They're going to Australia. They're going to California. They're playing a lot of dates. Wow, 4 dates in California. Texas, Illinois. So I guess if you're going to go see Rush with some other drummer chick, you better go now. Because otherwise, it's going to be... it's weird. It's Geddy Lee and Alex Lifeson. I guess they were a trio, right? Yeah. So if you only have 2 parts of the trio, are you still the same trio? Have things changed? What has happened to you? Are you no longer the band that you said you were? I guess there's a lot of bands like that where they just replace parts and they're like, yeah, I think isn't Pantera still touring and there's only 2 members of Pantera left? I think that's the case. I'm pretty sure the drummer's dead and I know Dimebag's dead. So just a weird story about like, I feel like the guy hasn't even been dead for a year. They're like, yeah, we're going on tour. But at the same time, I will give them the benefit of the doubt for one reason. One reason only is they are on their 50th year as a band. So, I mean, if you hit 50, I guess you've earned the right to go and be, to go on tour with or without any of your surviving members. You know what I mean? It is what it is. Let's see, Neil Peart, Canadian musician and author. Neil Peart died. Oh, he died like 5 years ago. All right. You guys get to. It's okay. It's okay. Hopefully, this chick drummer. I heard good things. I heard her play briefly, and I was not super impressed. But I am also not impressed by drum solos. So if you just hear a person playing like a random drum solo, it's real hard to tell whether or not it's exciting, because it's just like boom, it's just a bunch of noise, and I don't think it's that exciting. It's not exciting, just like Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson's career is no longer exciting. Dwayne Johnson's smashing machine went down for the count as the Star's lowest opening. Pick will bleed little with a $10 to $15 million loss. That is very, very... I think people are tired of this guy. Ever since they heard about him pissing into bottles, I think we have lost interest in Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson and him being late for movie shoots and just being a jerk in general. I think all those things hurt him. For sure. He learned about his Achilles heel at the box office this weekend with his R-rated drama. I also don't think it should have been R-rated. Like, what made it R-rated? Did you get to see The Rock's wang? It opened at $5.9 million. I'm pretty sure it came out the same week as Demon Slayer and just got stomped. I could be wrong about that. The Smashing Machine is the story of UFC champion Mark Kerr. And, yeah. That's pretty wild. It's also the second bomb he's done with Emily Blunt. He did the Jungle, what was that? The Jungle Ride? Jungle Cruise with her. And that sucked. He should probably been like, yeah, I'm not going to hang out with you ever again. We don't make good movies together. And it's funny because this was supposed to be Oscar buzz. I even had an article about it being like, can a movie that bombed be an Oscar-worthy movie? Absolutely. Absolutely it can. 3 weeks ago, Smash Machine was forecasted to be one of A24's highest openings ever in the high teens to $20 million range. None of that happened. Oh, Taylor Swift came out, not Demon Slayer. Taylor, yeah, because those audience cross over. Taylor Swift, the official release party for a Showgirls box office at $34 million. Yeah, those are pretty comparable. The movie cost... Wait, the movie has a net $50 million production cost with tax credits from Vancouver, New Mexico. It won't lose much, according to them. I still gonna lose. Still gonna lose quite a bit of money. And does anyone care about The Rock anymore? I really think that's what it boils down to, is that there just wasn't any hype for this. Nobody cares about The Rock. There wasn't much advertising for it. I don't know. I'm definitely not interested in watching The Rock, so I did not go see it. Thus, I did not review. I'm not even interested in watching it on streaming. I'm just like, I don't know who the guy is that he's playing, and he looks weird in those prosthetics. He looks like he's got a weird, munched up face, and I don't like it. No, sir, I don't like it. Bizarre. And it seems like $50 million is too much to spend on something that, I don't know, just not that good. I mean, maybe it's a good movie. You know, what are you saying? The movie was written by AI there, Doc? Is that what your deal is? In better news, maybe good news for people, you won't have to pay for one more streaming service. How's that? That sounds like good news. Hulu is officially going to shut down after 20 years. The Hulu brand will replace the Star brand abroad, while the U.S. app will be totally phased out. Completed. After more than 2 decades as one of the key names in streaming, Hulu's days as a standalone platform are officially numbered. Starting October 8th, which already happened, Hulu will be replaced by the Star brand in Disney's Plus's international markets. And then, they're just going to have Disney and Hulu Plus. I love getting Disney and Hulu Plus in one place where you can get all these, hard R movies at the same place where kids can watch their Disney films, right? They're also going to raise prices. Oh, great. Absolutely. When do they phase it out? The shift comes over beginning October 21st, maybe? No, it's going to be, they can still subscribe to Hulu as separate services, but by 2026, all Hulu content will live inside Disney Plus. They don't say when they're going to shut down the app, but suck it, Hulu. You failed. No way. No more Hulu. So I figured you guys should know that. That's kind of an important thing. One less streamer to pay for. And speaking of other streamers that are doing silly and ridiculous things, let's talk about James Bond. Shaken, not stirred. James Bond. Yes, I love my guns, but they took them down. How dare they? I should slap those bitches from Amazon. So anyway, Amazon Prime removed guns from James Bond posters and then stealthily took the artwork down after online backlash. Yeah, most James Bond pictures, I feel like he's holding a gun. That's a thing, right? James Bond and his gun. Well, I guess they've been airbrushed out of all the old pictures. It was posted, the artwork was posted for Prime Video UK website, which each film image had a gun previously displayed. Bond had effectively been digitally disarmed. Oh, man. In several cases, such as Dr. No and GoldenEye, the iconic Walther PPK had been edited out of his hand. Or just cropped out. Oh, that's terrible. Yes, look, it's James Bond just holding nothing. Beautiful. Giving the tantalizing impression that Sean Connery and Pierce Brosnan think you're a wanker. You're a wanker. That's too funny. Following James Bond Day on October 5th and growing online backlash, Prime UK has now stealthily, much like the super spy himself, removed the controversial artwork altogether and replaced them with stills from each film. Guess what? The internet lives forever, clowns. Absolute clowns. Can't believe they did that. There's no more guns. I just slap bitches. No more guns, says Sean Connery. Most of you probably don't even know who Sean Connery is. Because he's dead. Maybe. Is Sean Connery? I don't think Sean Connery. Is he dead? Sean Connery slapped too many bitches. Jesus Christ. Sean Connery. A million no's still means yes, sweetheart. Sean Connery. Yeah, he died. He also died like 5 years ago. In fact, he died on Halloween. Good for him. That's a great day. Great day to die, bitch. Speaking of bitches who need to get slapped, let's talk about Selena Gomez. That bitch. This is wild. This is almost like Noob not inviting the entire country of the Netherlands to his podcast, or not to his podcast, to his wedding, because, you know, we were the official podcast of the Netherlands, which we stepped down from to give some other people a chance to do it. Maybe one day we'll be back. But Selena Gomez, in case you didn't know this, she is a filthy, filthy billionaire who has someone else's kidney. Selena Gomez's kidney donor breaks silence after wedding invitation snub. So this girl right here apparently gave Selena Gomez one of her kidneys. And then Selena Gomez was like, yeah, I'm getting married, and I'm going to invite Taylor Swift, some hoe I barely know. But I'm not going to invite the woman who literally saved my life and gave me a kidney. I'd be like, bitch, I need my kidney back. I'm going to slap that kidney right out of your body. You bitch. Yes, Selena Gomez married music producer Benny Blanco. And then this chick, Francia Racia, famously donated a kidney to Gomez in 2017 after the singer's battle with lupus. And they have a complex relationship. Yes, which means close friends, Taylor Swift and Ed Sheeran. Yes, super close friends of hers, right? Oh my gosh. She only spoke in Spanish, so I know she's getting married. I'm very happy for her. And look, she has a life, and she's already a billionaire, and I'm grateful I could do that for her. I made her a billionaire. She would never have made so much money if I didn't save that bitch's life. Yes, that is absolutely wild. She went on to compare organ donation to a financial contribution when they were discussing the media's focus on her relationship with the new Miss Benny Blanco. Look, at the beginning, from the beginning, the doctors told me it's a donation. You don't get it back. If you're going to donate $1 to St. Jude or somewhere else, you're not going to call and say, hey, what are you going to do with my $1? It's a donation. It's something nice that I was able to do. I'm grateful that I am alive and say that I have saved a life. I would be so pissed at this chick. Oh my God. She's a billionaire. She'd be like, I better never have to work a single day in the rest of my life. As you are a billionaire and you are only alive because you have my kidney, I swear I'm coming back to come get that kidney. There's a reckoning coming, and I'm gonna bring it. I would absolutely go back and just let's reconcile this as I remove your kidney and put it back in my body. You already ruined one kidney, Selena. Why are you going to ruin my additional kidney? Absolutely wild. What a monster, if you will. Selena Gomez, the monster. So speaking of monsters, let's speak about this monster, the monster Lizzie Borden. So currently, I am reviewing or I'm watching. I will review, and I'm doing 10-second shorts on it. Monster, the Ed Gein story, which is, it's a doozy. I'm a big fan of. I like the Monster series. I really like the Jeffrey Dahmer one. I liked the Menendez brother one. And I know they took some liberties with it, and I know they're dramatizing it. This one seems to have gone a little off the rails. It's not quite as, so far, it's not quite as good as the other ones. The performances are fine, but it's very all over the place, and it's disjointed, and the pacing is not fantastic. And there is no, there's like no through point to it's like I said, it's disjointed. But I think the Lizzie Borden story is very much more straightforward. The other problem, it's got the Netflix bloat thing where I think it's 8 episodes and they're all an hour each, and there is just too much. That's my uncle up there on screen, who Lizzie Borden is my uncle, or Ed Gein is my uncle. I suspect you're saying Ed Gein is my uncle. So they already announced season 4 is already coming to life as Lizzie Borden. Lizzie Borden, isn't she the chick who took an axe to her mom and her dad? And then she had like this crazy trial, which I think would be kind of cool to see. You know, and they try their best. Like, the Ed Gein story is accurate to a point. I think they do a good job of giving you an insight as to what's going on. So Ryan Murphy and Ian Brennan are already in production with it. She was tried and acquitted of the 1892 axe murder of her father and stepmother in Fall River, Massachusetts. I didn't realize that she was set free. That's pretty wild. The Lizzie Borden Chronicles. Are they going to like tell you who she potentially was? There was a movie too. I remember that in 18, starring Chloe Sevigny and Kristen Stewart, which I did not watch. So this girl is going to play. Let's see. Do we have a bigger picture of this? Yeah, there you go. Well, I mean, Lizzie Borden, not a looker. But this girl, she's pretty. So what are they going to do? Fug her up to make it work? Probably. Gonna make her look not so attractive is what they're gonna do, because she might even have. Well, that's what Hollywood does. It's so funny too. As I'm watching the Ed Gein story, Charlie Hunnam is the main actor, right? Okay, enough of this girl. And Charlie Hunnam gets naked in it quite a bit. And of course, he's got like, every time he takes his shirt off, he's like ripped with abs. And I'm like, yeah, Ed Gein, the soft, doughy Wisconsin dude. I mean, he might have been thin from like starving, but he didn't have abs like that, bro. Because this guy knew. He's like, Charlie Hunnam was like, I'm going to have to be shirtless on screen all the time. I'm going to make sure that I have my full abs and my gut cutters going. So I just think it's funny. So again, they picked a much more attractive girl to play Lizzie Borden. I mean, she doesn't look dissimilar from her in certain ways. And who's Charlie Hunnam's? He's not going to play Andrew Jackson Borden, is he? That doesn't make any sense. So either way, like I said, I think this one will be more interesting than the original one. Oh, there's an older sister of Lizzie Borden. I get it. So we'll see what happens. But it sounds cool. I'm into it. I'll check this one out because I'm already watching the Ed Gein one. I have said several times, though, maybe I should stop watching the Ed Gein story. And one of those Ed Gein ones, there's definitely a scene that is one of the most atrociously... It's like cringy, yet gross, yet like dumb all at the same time. It involves him and a body and things. Oh my God, it's just horrendous. Yeah, that is weird, Mr. M, that there is a nursery rhyme about Lizzie Borden, which I do not remember. You were sitting next to a small human. There will be less carnage verbally from us because Noob's not here and he likes to curse all the time, and I keep it limited for the small ears in the audience, so that way I keep it coded. I may have done a little bit of Sean Connery that was a little feisty, but not that bad. So, but good to see you, my friend. Let's get on to I Don't Want to Taste Anything by Lizzie Borden. And I should look up what the nursery rhyme is. Is it the same? The only nursery rhyme I can ever think of is the 1, 2, is he coming to you? Is it she took an axe? Nursery rhyme. If I could see, I could spell. Yeah, there is a nursery rhyme song. Lizzie Borden took an axe and gave her mother 40 whacks. And when she saw what she had done, she gave her father 41. Oh, yeah, I kind of remember that. That is interesting. I was thinking that she had the Freddy Krueger song. That's what I was thinking. 1, 2, Lizzie Borden's coming for you. 3, 4, she's at your door. Whatever it is. I don't remember. Let's move on to something more uplifting. Like M&M's releasing 3 new flavors, which is something, I don't know, when was the last time M&M's did something like that? I thought they were on the verge of getting bought by some nefarious company. But M&M's 3 new flavors. And these people say they have tried them. Let's see, what are the 3 new candy flavors? I would love to know. Okay. People voted for this. Peanut butter cinnamon roll, no thank you. Cherry chocolate cupcake, also no thank you. Lemon meringue pie in the form of an M&M, that is outrageous. I like me a lemon meringue pie, don't get me wrong. But I am not into anything else with it. I don't know. It's just not my bag. It's not my bag, baby. So I'm also not the person who likes to try new things. So I'm not the person who should ask to do this. This is why we get Noob to taste test all of these things. That is the reason why. Lizzie Borden took an axe. There we go. 40 whacks. Did she give them 40 M&Ms? That might have been tasty. And I think that means it's time to get outrageous. As if you didn't think these stories were outrageous enough. This is an outrage. The star of Fast and Furious and future potential star of Nosferatu 2. Not Nosferatu, the first one, because that movie, that's a special movie in our hearts. Maybe Tyrese Gibson can be the star of that. He has turned himself in after a dog attack. Could you imagine going to jail for what your dogs did? How dare you? In a rather shocking twist, Fast and Furious star. Ooh, sorry. Tyrese Gibson turned himself into authorities after a misdemeanor warrant was issued for him. According to jail records, he was processed for an immediate release. Reportedly, Gibson's 4 dogs allegedly killed a neighbor's Cavalier King Charles Spaniel, leading to the warrant and subsequent arrest. I mean, that sucks, but did they kill them? Did they kill that dog on their own property? Because that seems like self-defense to me if the dogs were on their own property, right? That's what I'm thinking. He's best known for his portrayal of Roman Pierce in the Fast and Furious charges, faces animal cruelty charge after his 4 dogs killed a neighbor's dog. I can't believe they issued a misdemeanor warrant for that. That's wild. And at least, look, I know this dude's had some problems, but maybe you shouldn't have 4 dogs, dude. Let's see here. Ooh, what they're saying, he's been very cooperative, right? And he extended his deepest condolences to the family who lost their dog. And, I'm sure he's going to pay for whatever. It's not the end of the world. But multiple outlets have reported that despite the dogs leading to the crime, they have not been turned over to the authorities. If they get turned over to the authorities, they will be killed. So my suggestion is you turn them over to Hassan Piker, because then he will electrocute the dogs. And then maybe they'll learn their lesson by living with Hassan Piker for a little while. Oh, geez. Ooh, his dog attacked another dog. From the headline, I thought he attacked a dog. That would be much, much more outrageous if Tyrese Gibson attacked a dog. Fast and Furious star Tyrese Gibson turns himself in after attacking dogs. That would be great. Now, that would truly be outrageous. That would be truly outrageous. Hopefully, everything gets worked out. I feel like this is a civil matter, not a criminal matter. Do I think Tyrese and Mel Gibson are related? Second cousins? Probably. If I had to guess, they both had equal hating of a certain type of people in Hollywood. So, because I've heard Tyrese go on some rants. I feel like they both have drinking problems too. So they probably are related. I believe it. Here's another bit of outrageous news. Disneyland visitor dies in hospital after riding the Haunted Mansion. See, now I feel like that's a ripoff. Wouldn't you prefer just to die in the Haunted Mansion? The woman was reportedly taken to a local hospital for medical treatment on October 6th. See, what I would say is if you didn't die inside the Haunted Mansion, then you probably didn't die of the Haunted Mansion, right? That would be my guess. So the Disneyland guest has died after riding the park's Haunted Mansion attraction. Anaheim Fire and Rescue responded to Disneyland Resort for an unresponsive woman in her 60s who had just finished riding the Haunted Mansion attraction. Disneyland's security personnel provided CPR until paramedics arrived, and then she was transported to a local hospital where she was later pronounced deceased. See, she did not die of the ride or even in the ride. She died of other causes. They're going to determine the official cause of death. I suspect it was allegedly a fentanyl overdose. I know there's some history due to this thing, right? A spirited attraction. It first opened on August 9th, 1969. And then it was originally built in 1962 and 1963. And then when Walt died, I guess it got delayed till 69. Jeez. It was one of the last rides that Disney had influence over in designing. It reflects a desire for an attraction that was more entertaining than terrifying. Yes, we all know you go through, you get guided, there's a voice and things, and it's got the Nightmare Before Christmas haunted theme overlay, which is cool. I feel like there was a part where it like burned down and killed a bunch of people, or at least a couple people. So the ride does have other victims. Now, that could be the Orlando one. Hard to say. But like I said, I do also hear, I've heard this, and this could be urban legend, so maybe I'm out there. But a lot of people like to bring ashes into the Haunted Mansion ride and dump out ashes because it's people's favorite ride, and they just want to be part of the ride forever. So, this lady will have now missed that opportunity. She could have been one of the corpses, and now she's not. It's a sad day for her. And then this is the last story, because the last outrageous story. This one's quite an outrage, and I will do my darndest to keep this as G-rated as humanly possible. I saw this and I had to share about it. Oh, yeah, that's right. Mr. M says, hope no one related to that person ever signed up for a free trial of Disney Plus. Well, that's right, because Disney Plus, apparently, there's a waiver that's included in your Disney Plus free trial that you cannot sue if you get into trouble. If you have an accident in Disney World and you have Disney Plus, you cannot sue them. That's the going rumor. Allegedly. All right, so this is outrageous because Shoe on Head talked about this, who's a big YouTuber. And she talked about... Oh, my God. Okay, it is called Morning Glory Milking Farm, a monster bait romance. Okay, so imagine a romance novel, but it's got monsters in it. And I'm not going to go down I could do a whole separate video on this because Shu did a video on this, and I'm not going to steal her ideas, but this deserves to be spoken about. And I'm not going to go as deep into detail. I just need to read the description. And it's got a 4.1 out of 5 with 21,000 ratings. Okay. Are you guys ready? Violet is a typical down-on-her-luck millennial, mid-20s, overeducated, and drowning in debt, on the verge of moving into her parents' basement, when a lifeline appears in the form of a very unconventional job in a neighboring Cambric Creek. She has no choice but to grab it with both hands. Morning Glory Farm offers full-time hours, full benefits, and generous pay. And with no experience needed, there's only one catch. The clientele is grade A certified prime beef with manly meaty endowments to match. Hands-on work with minotaurs isn't something Violet ever considered as a career option, but she's determined to turn the opportunity into a reversal of fortune. I'm going to try to... Hold on. Let's see if I can read this part out loud. With a stern, deep-voiced client begins to specifically request her for the sessions at the farm, maintaining her professionalism and keeping him out of her dreams is easier said than done. Violet is resolved to make a dent in her student loans and afford name brand orange juice, and a one-sided crush on an out-of-her-league minotaur is just not part of the plan. Unless her feelings aren't so one-sided after all. Get the actual F out of here. Get out of here. All right, hold on. Let's read some I don't have I can't read any reviews. Can I read any reviews? Not even one. I don't want to read a sample. I don't want to hear audio samples. I don't even want to know what's going on here. Is there a way to see about the author? Do I really want what are customers saying? A quick, fun read with a beautiful love story and a slow burn romance. They appreciate the characters' personalities, with one customer noting how well the voices match the characters and the excellent writing. I don't really know. Oh, here we go. Top reviews in the United States. Way more than I can imagine. This book completely blew me away. I have few words. I have so sweet and realistic. Realistic fantasy? What are we talking about here? We're talking about minotaurs. We're talking about minotaurs. This is real, folks. They publish Noob Noob's erotic fan fiction. That is 100% true. They finally did it. Who knew that Noob Noob's real name is CM Nacosta? Nope, Nas Costa. Should we see what else they've written? Nothing's as good as the milking farm. Let's do that. She's created her. Oh my gosh, it's all minotaurs. Is there anything other than minotaurs? It's all minotaurs. Oh my god. Oh my god. So that's a little outrageous. Just trying to have a little fun, folks. Just trying to have a little fun as we move on, and we'll wrap out the outrageousness as we go to... Oh, no. Oh, yeah, we're going to go in or out. That's what we're going to do next. We're going to get in. We're going to get out. It's going to be glorious. It's going to be glorious. It's going to be great. It's going to be huge as we get... Where is it? In or out? Yes. That applause was for the Minotaurs. Should pour one out for my homie Minotaurs. Anyway, This is it's called A Night of the Seven Kingdoms. It's a spin-off of Game of Thrones. And it premieres on January 18th, 2026. There's a trailer out now. I don't know how I feel about this. This show is based off George R.R. Martin's Dunk and Egg novellas. It's they comprised 3 books published between 1998 and 2017. Oh, look, it only took him 19 years to write those. The debut season will have 6 episodes, which are an adaptation of the first book, The Hedge Knight. A century before the events of Game of Thrones, 2 unlikely heroes wandered Westeros, a young, naive, but courageous knight, Sir Duncan the Tall, and his diminutive squire, Egg. Set in an age where the Targaryen line still holds the Iron Throne and the memory of the last dragon has not yet passed from living memory, great destinies, powerful foes, and dangerous exploits await these improbable, incomparable friends. Okay. I saw a really funny comment about it. They're like, I can't wait to watch 6 episodes of something I didn't ask for and then wait 3 years for the next season. Because they're talking about the previous what the heck's that show? The Dragon show. The Game of Thrones Dragon show that's really everybody was excited about and thought was good, and then had one of the worst cliffhangers ever of any show ever, and we're still waiting several years for it to be done. So yeah, that's real excited. And now we've got Millie, not Millie Bobby Brown, but the other Millie Alcock, the star of one of those shows, is going to be Supergirl. That's what we get out of it. How exciting. I am in on this, but begrudgingly. I thought the trailer looked pretty weak. I do like the idea of the tournaments and like jousting and things like that seem a little cool, but overall, like I said, I'll watch it for you guys, but I'm not so excited to watch it that it just Game of Thrones has left a bit of a sour taste in my mouth. So I think I'm going to move on. I'm in, but begrudgingly in. So keep an eye out for it. It's coming in January, which is not that far away, folks. I don't even want to say those words, but it's a true statement. So let's get on. We're going to finally move on to the reviews. I can finally put some music back on because we're reviewing. Let me see. I don't even know what I am reviewing. What am I reviewing? Let's start with Karate Kid Legends, just for kicks and giggles. Karate Kid. Karate. There we go. With Ralph Macchio, Jackie Chan, and Ben Huang. 90% on the fan side. I don't think it's that good, but I liked it. 57% on the critics side. Right? So, my thoughts on this. Very, kind of a basic plot. The best part is when Jackie Chan and Daniel LaRusso teach everyone else how to act in this movie because they're the best parts of it. And when the two of them are together, there's a lot of really great chemistry because those two actually know how to act. Everyone else is just kind of mediocre. There's like a girl in it that I remember Noob Noob was saying he liked a whole lot, and she was just pretty okay. What was that? Sadie Stanley, whatever. He probably liked Ben Wang better. Critic consensus leaning heavily into the nostalgia appeal of Jackie Chan and Ralph Macchio's return to the Karate Kid franchise. Legends could be more disciplined with its technique, but still land some crowd-pleasing strikes. I also forgot the dude from Party of Five is in this. Joshua Jackson. It's like a huge part of it. It's pretty weird. He was pretty good too. He could act, but they didn't give him a lot to do. They basically gave him nothing to do. With fun choreography that blends kung fu and karate, and a movie story that weaves old and the new, Karate Kid Legends makes for a winning entry in the franchise. Yeah, I liked it. I think it needed more Jackie Chan, but I guess that's the point of a good movie. And I'm not saying this is a great movie, but it leaves you wanting more. I wanted to see more Jackie Chan, more David LaRusso, and I didn't get that. So I guess that's what it did well. because everything else was just kind of mediocre. Like, you know, the kid's fine. There's like a little love story thing going on. It's fine. I wasn't like super excited about that. It was mostly interested in the karate part. So it was okay. It did its job. It entertained me for like whatever, an hour and a half or however long this thing was. I'm just surprised the audience reacted so highly to it. They really, really liked it. It was an hour and 34 minutes, which is, do you know how hard it is to find a movie that's an hour 34 that's actually any good? Oh, by the way, there's a lot of good actors in this. Ming-Na Wen was in it, who I always love seeing her. Yeah, Ming-Na Wen. She look for like 60 years old. She looks absolutely amazing. So keep up the good work, Ming-Na Wen. You go, girl. Anyway, I can move on from that one. I recommend it. If you liked anything about Karate Kid or Cobra Kai, you're gonna like this. And as Noob Noob said, the cameo at the end makes it all worth it. So you should check that out. I will do the next one, which is a streaming one that I don't think a lot of people caught. The Naked Gun with Liam Neeson and Pamela Anderson. Another brief movie at an hour 25. Not too shabby. It's 88% on the critic side with 326 reviewers. Who did they pay? That's like 5 short of all the reviewers in the world, not including homeless ones. And you know what? Maybe I should stop using homeless. Let's just call us the unhoused. But the fans have it with 2,500 reviews at 73%. I'd give it like a B minus. Only one man has a particular set of skills to lead the police squad and save the world. Critic consensus, with Liam Neeson's gravelly gravitas proving to be the perfect fit for Frank Drebin's deadpan buffoonery, The Naked Gun revives the original trilogy's daffy sense of humor like it never went out of style. Audience says Liam Neeson hits the mark as Drebin, and The Naked Gun fires away on all body cylinders, dishing out a mandatory sentence on manslaughter. There's a really funny joke about man's laughter in this. Was that Coolio? No, it wasn't Coolio. There's some rapper in this. Coolio's dead, so it's not him. I thought this was pretty funny. It's not hilarious, but it's definitely worth a watch. I would give it a C, so like a 75, 76. It's almost worth watching just for there's a montage segment of a snowman and a date with Pamela Anderson that is worth it. I do find it funny that the romance between Liam Neeson and Pamela Anderson ended the second this movie was over, or at least the second the promotion for the movie was over. So I thought that was pretty good. Pamela Anderson, while okay, I don't know. She's not as good as the previous actress. And who else is it? Kevin Durant's in it. He's cool. I like him. Danny Houston's in it. He's cool. Oh, Busta Rhymes is in it. That's right. Weird Al is in it. They mention Weird Al, but I don't remember seeing him in this. There are parts where it slogs a little bit, but overall, I appreciate the fact that they're trying to bring back the comedy. I thought Seth MacFarlane helped write this or something. I thought he was connected to this in some way, and I am not seeing him. Crew and cast. Fuzzy Door. Who owns Fuzzy Door? I think the budget was real small. It made $52 million. That's okay. I can't imagine it cost that much. Yes, Seth MacFarlane was one of the producers. I had a feeling. And Akiva Schaffer, I believe, is one of the Lonely Island guys. Right? Isn't he one of the Lonely Island guys? I like that he directed Chippendale Rescue Rangers. I thought that was pretty good. Naked Gun, Palm Springs, Popstar Never Say. Yeah, he is one of the Lonely Island. So good on him. I thought he did a pretty good job. And, you know, as much as I bag on Seth MacFarlane for barely being straight, I thought this was pretty good. And I'd recommend it. If you're bored and you can catch it on streaming, you're going to laugh at least once, maybe more than that. So give a comedy a chance, people. Give a comedy a chance. It's so rare to get a decent comedy. And the critics liked it. It's fine. It's fine. Pamela Anderson's real wacky in it. So let's go to our premiere review. which would be Terminal List. It's taken me a long time to finish this because they released like the first 2 or 3 episodes and then released it weekly. So I think it ended like a week ago. It's the number one thing on Amazon Prime streaming, and it even brought back the original Terminal List, which I thought was cool, which is the Chris Pratt dad prawn starring thing. You know, all those dad shows like Reacher and Terminal List, and this is definitely added to that. I think I did a whole video on this one. It stars the gummy bear himself, Taylor Kitsch, who you may remember from such films as John Carter of Mars, or you won't remember that movie. It was previously the biggest bomb ever filmed and is no longer considered the biggest bomb ever filmed. So good for him. It's 75% on the critic side, 80% on the audience side. I'm definitely aligned with the audience. In fact, I might like this better than Terminal List. Although, okay, so it's a little weird because it's a prequel to the Terminal List, and I don't hate prequels, but most of the time prequels are pretty pointless. But what I was looking for was an explanation of Taylor Kitsch's motives in Terminal List, the one with Chris Pratt. So this Dark Wolf series was actually pretty good. I thought the acting was really good in it, and Taylor Kitsch was really good in it. And they got to bring back a bunch of characters. Jack Carr, who's the creator of this whole series, he did it. Chris Pratt stars in a handful of episodes. Luke Hemsworth was in it. I didn't realize that was Luke Hemsworth. Now that I know it's him, he was pretty good. I actually liked him. He's like a big character, but all the big characters get not complete arcs, but they at least get stories. And Tom Hopper was in it, who played Rafe Hastings, who was a very minor character in Terminal List. I thought he was awesome. Everybody got a little bit to shine and got to do a little bit of things. Dar Salim was in it. He was pretty cool. Robert Wisdom was in it, who's awesome. He's always awesome. There was a bunch of really cool actors in it. They didn't explain one thing that I don't really know why they didn't, but that's okay. Antoine Fuqua was one of the executive producers, which I was shocked at because he's put out some real garbaggio. But essentially, I'll just read this. The Terminal List Dark Wolf is a prequel series with an origin story that follows Ben Edwards through his journey from the Navy SEALs to clandestine side of the CIA Special Operations. The series is an espionage thriller that explores the darker side of warfare and the human cost that comes with it. And I feel like the show kept you on your toes, which I really liked. I couldn't exactly predict what was going on, and when certain things happen and certain lines hit, I just thought it was pretty outstanding. I really enjoyed it. Terminal List is weird because Chris Pratt is what they call an unreliable narrator, so it's really difficult to understand whether or not he's telling the truth or what you're seeing is real because there's like an issue with him, so you don't know exactly what's going on. This is very much more clear. It contextualized Terminal List, the series, in a much different light, in a good way, which is what a really good prequel will do. A really good prequel will take things that you knew about the original series that you liked and recontextualize them in a way that makes the original show more enjoyable. And I thought that this did a really good job of that. It's part of this resurgence of like manly men shows, because if you read the other reviews out there, a lot of people hate this show. But I think by the end, it seems like the audience and the critics seem to have turned and being happy with it. I don't know if it's going to get a second series. I would actually like it. Chris Pratt was it's interesting. There's all these bearded soldiers, right? And they all look very familiar. And Chris Pratt does his damnedest to disappear with the rest of the soldiers, right? And he just seems like any other guy in the show. And it's similar thing happened in Terminal List. So he went very much from being like the leading man in what he does as Star-Lord, where he really does lead the screen, or even Jurassic Park, to straight up disappearing in the series as just some other Marine with a pretty good set of skills. The one who stands out the most in this series is Taylor Kitsch, which is kind of shocking to me because I don't think he's as good of an actor as as Pratt. So it's hard to say exactly what's going on there because Pratt just blends in as any other Marine. There are scenes where I was like, oh my God, where's Chris Pratt? Because I don't even see him on screen because there's just a bunch of bearded Marines. And I just thought it was very interesting. So I hope they do another, it gets a second season. And then Luke Hemsworth, who you've only really seen in a couple of random series, he did a really good job in this. He was an interesting, dynamic character. And like I said, all the characters get little arcs of their own where you get to understand a little bit about their motivation and a taste, and whether or not they survive is a different story, but at least you understand them a little bit more. It's just good writing, and it's been a long time since I've seen a show with good writing, and it seems to be stuck. You know, while Reacher isn't the greatest writing in the world, I do enjoy Reacher, and I thought Terminal List was well written. So Amazon, kind of weird. Lord of the Rings stuff, the Rings of Power, absolute garbage. But on this side, they're just hitting gold. And it clearly shows because in their top 10, not only was this like number one for many, many, many weeks, Terminal List was like 4 or 5 because people were going back to watch it, which is exactly what you want the prequel to do. And on top of that, I'm pretty sure Terminal List was one of the top watched shows on Amazon Prime next to Reacher. So good on them. I enjoyed it. I think you'll like it too. If you like espionage and you like military stuff and anything like that, you're gonna enjoy it. If you don't like that stuff, don't watch it. But otherwise, I thought it was very good. I enjoyed it. It redeemed the Gummy Bear Man for me because in John Carter from Mars, Taylor Kitsch jumps around like a gummy bear, and it's ludicrous and not a great movie. And a lot of people think it's derivative because it's the originator of sci-fi. It's like one of the original sci-fi novels. So everything you hear from it, like Star Wars and things were derived from John Carter from Mars. So that's all I got. I'm watching, like I said, Monster. I should have that done by this week. And what else am I on? I'm watching a handful of things. I think Gen V is wrapping up. Peacemaker's wrapping up. Yeah, all those things are wrapping up. John Carter was filmed in 2012. Oh, my God. I don't even remember anything about that movie. It's also from The Princess of Mars. I know this was written by somebody pretty famous. Who the heck wrote this novel? Just wanted to look this up. John Carter of Mars, Princess of Mars. Who the heck wrote this? Written by Mark Atkins? No, that is the movie. I want to know. Oh, Edgar Rice Burroughs from 1917, bro. Dude wrote that thing in 1917. That's why it's not that popular for anybody. That depends, Doc. You keep disappearing. So I don't know if I want to play with you since you're such a Battlefield fan. Yes, this is not an AI show. This is all real, all powerful. That's right. Enjoy your lack of noob as everyone has been doing. So thank you for watching us. I really love doing this. I hope you guys enjoy hanging out. I don't hope. I know you enjoy hanging out because I enjoy hanging out with you guys, spending the time. You guys are the best. It's a lot of fun. Enjoy all this stuff and more. And I'll be back shortly. I'll have some more videos for you guys. But I'm on to the next one.
Thanks for catching the video. Be sure to join our channel to get the education you deserve. Make sure you check out our shorts, live streams, and catch us on all the socials. Don't forget to like and subscribe.